Hey, Oswole, Oswole Umwibim. All right, we are live. I need a better camera, man. Look like I'm on Super Nintendo. Ndibo Kwenu. Let's see who's all here. Ndi Patreon Kwenu. Oh, I know they. Okay, you guys aren't here. As always, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going live. I think I'm competing with Versus right now. I think it's Thirds Mafia and Bone Thug. So let's see. Yes, you are, Namdi, very much. Yes, you are. Princess Kaha says hello. Yeah, Princess Kaha Quinn. All right, I'm seeing familiar names. Chimoge. Chimoge, I gave you kind of a shout out in my next video. Yeah, keep an eye out. I'm going to be putting out on Saturday. I won't tell you what I said, but keep an eye out, man. And other than the normal shout outs I do at the end of the thing, you got that too. So, okay, I'm going to get it going if we can get to 10. I think 10 is a fair number or fair enough. Yeah. Okay, what are we doing here? Cool. Okay, perfect. All right, we are at 7. Share, hey, if you're get on your socials and share some links, we can get this started when we hit 10. When we hit 10, if this thing doesn't kick me off, it always randomly kicks me off for no reason. Okay, thanks. I'll be looking out, no doubt. Cool. I chege 10. I chege. Hey, been on your channel by hype. Been behind on your channel. People always say that like it's like like it's like I'm trying to think of a good like it's like a class. I mean, I don't know. I guess it is a class. Yeah. I appreciate you for trying to keep up and stay current. Snapple and Cats. What's the story behind the name, by the way? It's really random. Yeah, but been behind on your channel, but hype for the live from one of my favorite channels. I appreciate that. Cool. All right, so we are at, you know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and kick off. We didn't hit our goal, but maybe once I break Iwaji, then things start cracking off. Trying to study, okay, cool, no problem. So boy, did it, as we say. Oh, we're at 9. We're at 9. We are at 10. Hey, roll it. We've done it. I'm smiling ear to ear today because I got some really good news. So before we begin, I'm going ahead and go ahead and break Iwaji. Perform Iwaji. Now, before any meeting of the minds or any meeting in general, in order to get things commenced in the spirit of peace and togetherness, we perform Iwaji, which is the breaking of the Iwaji ceremony. But Iwaji also, it's interesting too. My next video is going to be Ichwaja on sacrifice, like why sacrifice is done in Odinani. The kind of, as always, I go in depth as to what everything means as far as sacrifice, what it symbolizes, so on and so forth. It ended up being a kind of a long video, so I cut it in half. And the second half was how to do the sacrifice. But I think I'm going to keep that to myself because I don't I don't want you I don't want you guys catching charges in the places you live. Don't do anything that's not legal in the place you live, Biko. But if you guys are interested in that second half or the second portion of it, make sure on Saturday when I put the video out to comment, I want to know how, or what's, just even if you don't want to say I want to know how, because that sounds kind of wild, you just put I want to see the second half. So this will just be between me and the people in this live right now. So before we commence, let me go. Oh, anyways, the reason I brought the sacrifice thing is because Iwaji, the breaking of the Iwaji, is not just done before meetings. It is done before you do prayers. It's done before you do manifestations. It's done before you do ancestral work. It is done before you, of course, when you're in a meeting with people, and it is done before you give sacrifices. The point being that if you are in a room with people you respect and you want togetherness with you, begin by doing Iwaji, right? So a lot of you guys have Igbo ancestors, and they would be very offended if you do not begin the meeting with a formal greeting and the breaking of Iwaji. So get your colas if you can. It's my two ticks. I have Tourette syndrome. Okay, I get okay from the name. Okay, got you. Okay. Well, it's cool that you own it the way you own it, Snapple and Cats. That's cool. All right. Kai Bidokwe, Okike Keruwa. I Kelengi. Yes, sir. Okay, I'm doing Iwaji, so give me a minute, okay? All right. Okike Keruwa. I Kelengi. Alawala. Ala nne mmadụ na nne mmụọ nne ndị mbụ na ndị egede. Anyị na-ekele gị. Anyị na-ekele ndị eke, ndị orie, ndị afọ na ndị nkwọ. Kelekwe ndị mmadụ na ndị mmụọ. Taani anyị bụtara ọjị. Nnọọ ka nụ fụrụ anyị. Obi m dị ọcha, aka m dị ọcha, ụkwụ m dị ọcha. Ije anyị na-aga wụ ije Chineke. Ihu m dị ọcha, ọnụ m dị ọcha, uche m dị ọcha. Mana ọjị taa na-ewu ọjị ndụ. Ọjị taa na-ewu ọjị udo. Ọjị taa na-ewu ọjị ijeọma. Ọjị taa na-ewu inye ihe jikọtara anyị niile ike ka ọ garị. Mana ọrụ Chineke ka anyị na-arụ. Ọ okwu Chineke ka anyị na-ekwu. Ọ ga-adị nnọọ n'eke, n'orie, n'afọ, na nkwọ. Ise. All right. So as always, I always try to let you guys know what I'm saying. So I gave acknowledgments to the creator, right? So whenever you're doing Iwaji, whenever you're commencing things, you're visualizing them, everybody with you. You say, yes, exactly. Okay, cool. You say, awesome. So I gave, a lot of you guys probably know the words by now, but I gave acknowledgments to the creator. I gave acknowledgments to the earth. I referred to the earth by her honorific names. The reason I chose to do that was I wanted to add emphasis that a lot of our female forces, or a lot of the feminine forces of the universe, they like their honorifics. They like their honor names, right? So I called her Allah, who is the earth, mother of the first people, and Ndiegede. If you've seen my video on the 4 world ages, you'll know who Ndiegede were, but those Ndimbu are the ancestors before death. Ndiegede are the ancestors after death, right? So I said mother of Ndimbu and Ndiegede, mother of Ndimbu and Ndiegede, mother of Manu, which is person, however you want to define it, and Mo, which is aura or spirit, however you want to define it as well. Please push like for the video. Yes. Hit like. Okay, I'm still learning how to do this. When I'm done explaining, I'll say all that. But yeah, so I gave her honorifics. I said that, and I gave shout out to the ancestors. Now, for those of you who have ancestors who you don't know their name, and that's all of us, but for some of us, it's more of a problem than others, just because of the course of history and things like that, or like maybe family situations. You can use Eke, Uri, Afo, and Nkwo. So whichever day those are the 4 market days. Any of the 4 days you are born on is your day. Any of the 4 days you're born on is your day, and it's also one of your names. So I'm Wafo or Okafo. You understand? That's one of my names because I was born on Afo Day. Your Igbo is getting way better than when you first started the channel. Kaha, do you want me to tell you something very interesting? It's a comfort thing. Right. So whenever, when I eat, I don't get to speak Igbo as often as I'd like. So whenever I start, it's like shaky. But the more comfortable I become, the more fluid and that type of thing. So usually when I go to Nigeria, the first 2-3 days, I'm a disaster. But after a while, it starts, feeling good and comfortable and all that stuff. But yeah, it has also improved big time. I've made it a goal of mine to make sure that my pronunciations and my rhythm and everything like that are to par if I'm to do the thing that I'm doing. Got you, bro, if you need it. Hey, if you can tell me how to so you can focus on the message. Yeah, I appreciate that. Ndewo, Raza says Ndewo. Do women pray with the kola nut? It should show. Hold on. All right. So anyways, as far as the prayer goes, I said that, my hands are clean. Right? I'm innocent. I haven't committed any abominations. As I'm speaking to you, my hands are clean. My feet are clean. Right? So before I do prayers, I wash my hands, my face, and my feet, and my mouth. And so, because usually when I do my ancestral work, I say my hands are clean, My feet are clean, as in I'm walking. The journey I'm walking on is pure. My heart is clean. My uchim, my mind, or that kind of thing is clean. I just list all these different things, which I did. And then I said that this Aji is an Aji of wisdom, is an Aji of life, is the Aji that is going to give strength to the thing that unites us all, whatever that thing may be. And it's going to be like this on Ike, Uri, Afon, and Nkwo. All right. So that makes perfect sense. Okay, cool. Appreciate it. All right. So before we commence or before we get started, go ahead and hit the like button. I believe it really helps the YouTube algorithm. Hit the like button. I'm seeing 12 likes right now. If you just as I don't know, I guess it helps. So yeah, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit subscribe as soon as possible, and then make sure to hit the bell, like the little notification bell, because it lets you know when I post new videos. It also helps people who have similar interests to you have the videos recommended a lot. All right, I see that we went from 12 to 14 likes. Let's see if we can get ourselves up to 20. When we get to 20, I'm gonna do something. I'll celebrate somehow. I think I'll find some wine around here or somewhere or something. But yeah, okay, we're at 50. Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe I should have made the goal higher. But yeah. So anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and commence. As always, if you want to support the movement, if you want to support the channel, go ahead and join patreon.com/the-medicine-shell. All right. So all of the patrons have access to the Odinani group chat, and I always say this, but it's becoming one of my favorite features of this journey that we're on. And what we do in the Odinani group chat is we pick a topic. Let me scoot this back a little bit. We pick a topic, just different topics. So the last one we did was the relationship between Chukwu and the Chi. And we get on a Zoom chat and we just talk. We share our different ideas. I, of course, give the ancestral perspective. We have people from different disciplines and walks of life that give their own perspectives as well. We just share ideas, things like that. We learn and build together. So that's a lot of fun. So the last one was the relationship between Chi and Chukwu. The one before that was the sacred workplace. So I was explaining that when in Igbo culture or in Odinani, your workplace, wherever it is that you work, is sacred. Right? There's a sacredness to it. And I told the different ways to acknowledge that sacredness and what it all means and so on and so forth. So for we've passed 20. He said, all right, I owe you guys some wine, but let me finish my rant. So, but the sacred work. So we spoke about that one. That was one of my favorite ones. The next Odinani group chat we're doing is the relationship between Chukwu and Onwa. Now, Onyowa is also known as Agun, or is also known as your Chiwa. That is the part of you that reincarnates. That is your past life self. That is the you that's also going to return, so on and so forth. So that part of you comes into the world for a purpose, right? It has a God-given purpose. And when I say purpose, it doesn't always mean action, right? So purpose can also be a state of being, right? Just a way, a path. A state of being, a path, that kind of thing. So it brings you into the world for that thing, and that part of you knows that thing. And in order to understand that your path and your purpose, you have to tap into that part of yourself. You have to build a relationship with that part of yourself, and it begins to reveal it in the ways that it can. But that is going to be our next discussion. That's going to be on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. Is it buffering and stopping for anyone else? I hope I'm not going to have any issues. No buffering here. Okay, cool. All right, I mean a trio life. I think I got a few questions I want to answer before I commence. Somebody asked about women breaking the Oji. It was getting way better. Cool. Got you, bro. If I need to moderate the chat. Let's do this. Add moderator. All right. Use cars. Job done. You are a moderator now. If anybody's wilding out, throw them out. Throw them out. But yeah, do women pray with cola? I know that women don't break cola. Yeah, so if women don't break cola if men are there. So if you're praying on your own, or if you're praying amongst women, a woman does it. A woman, if there's other men in the room, or if there's maybe your husband, father, friends, things like that, they would break the cola. The oldest among them, the oldest man in the room would break the cola. So that's how that is. Now, there are exceptions to when women can break cola, and it's usually titled women. So a woman that gets a title, almost more specifically, a woman that gets a man's title, that kind of thing. which most women don't do, or they're not interested in doing anyway. But yeah, but a lot of women with titles can break cola for a gathering, for an event, that kind of thing. So yeah, it depends. Unless the titled man, then the titled man does it. So yeah. Um, is it true that Kabbalah originated from Igbo? I think a lot more archaeological work has to be done to confirm that. There's a lot of speculation. People are saying things, but it's just speculation. And so I don't know. Um, I also don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is because Kabbalah and Odinani and all these things are pointing to things that can be observed in real life. Like they're pointing to things that can be observed in nature. So or within the self or of the self. So if I'm describing eyes and somebody in Israel is describing eyes, we're going to say similar things. It doesn't mean that he learned it from me and I learned it from him, right? So a lot of those things that have those parallels, so on and so forth, that's usually the cause. But I've come to learn in this journey that the things that are more fantastical end up being like true. Like the things I had a hard time believing prior are the things I learned the most from. So I'm not dismissing anything. I have no evidence to say it did or it didn't one way or another, but I don't think so. And that's not as a teacher or researcher. That's as a or practitioner. That's just as a person with an opinion. I think it's just two people observing the same thing and describing the same thing and so forth. But if we want to say that Kabbalah is a uniquely Jewish thing, Odinani is probably a lot older than Kabbalah. So there's a possibility. I realize that Zohar is similar to Zohar of Kabbalah, very similar to the teachings of Chineke. Yeah, I think I've heard that as well. I have to look into it a little bit more, but I've heard the same. No buffering here. Okay, cool. Meaning the tree of life. Yes, I understood what you mean by that. I did have somebody tell me that at a shrine there was a tree of life SketchUp, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't put after, like it wasn't a new thing, right? That they saw one, they saw like a sketching of the tree of life. And it doesn't mean, I don't know what that means, whether that was there a long time ago or whether it was put there recently, so on and so forth. But again, we're all describing the same thing. So you're going to see those parallels. And sometimes one comes from the other, but a lot of times it's just two people describing the same thing they observed about life and so forth. Iluwa can be observed in the cycles of nature. Everything is a cycle without beginning and ending. Game of life. Chop cola. You've done well. Cool. All right. So okay. All right. Yeah. So, anyways, what I'm saying is the day. Hold on. Wait. Is the day the chi different from the day of your birth? The day of your chi. Okay. So, the day you're born is what I was talking about with your day. It's usually the day you're born. It's almost always the day you're born. So there's a good website. If somebody has the link or somebody can find the link, but it's a good website where you can type in your date of birth and it tells you what market day you have. And then within the Patreon, we have the Odinani calendar. Some of you guys are saying that you're not connected. So if you're not connected and you're a patron, message me and I'll get you on there. But it'll let you know which day it is like currently, right? So today is aka today's Uriya me, that kind of thing. So today's Uriya. So if you're an Uriya person, this is your day. A lot of people will only pray on their day, right? So if my day is Afal, so if I were to follow that, I would do all of my spiritual work on that day and I would let it be for the rest of the week, that kind of thing. And I actually explain why that is in the next video I'm doing, which is Itraja sacrifice. Itraja. So I agree. It's observed universally. Wonderful. Or one experiencing. Yeah. It's awesome. So I explain why it's done, like why those days are important. But more or less, they're your cosmic house, right? Your cosmic village, your cosmic community. And each person is in a cosmic house and that kind of thing. And then on your day, your market is open. So you're able to receive from the universe and send things into the universe at a level that surpasses the other days. So again, I go into that in the next video, which is Itraja. I'll be discussing sacrifice. It is going to come out on Saturday. So if you are not subscribed, subscribe ASAP. Hit subscribe right now. If you're looking at the button, go ahead and it ain't gonna hurt. And then hit the bell icon so you get the notifications and so forth. So today is Uriya. One calendar said it's Afal. I could be wrong. I was just doing it off the top of my head. I know that Eke was either yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm not looking at the calendar right now. But it's either Ori or Afo. So yeah, Arasa, you might be right. Thanks for answering, no doubt. I'm sure there are different ones. I've come to realize they're all on the same rotation. So they're not. I used to think they were different, but they're not. As per Igbo calendar, it's Afo. Okay, then it's Afo. Then it's Afo. My days are blurred together. I know the last AK day I had was very chaotic. So, and I remembered specifically that it was AK. So it was either yesterday or 2 days ago. It was yesterday or 2 days ago. So I had a very chaotic day on AK. So if it's Afo, I believe it. I believe it's all on the same rotation. Still unable to download the G doc. Okay, Gerard. I hope you haven't messaged me on Patreon. I'm trying to finish a video right now, and one thing I need to work on is when I'm working on videos, I shut off, so I'm not as responsive as normal. But if you can message me on Patreon so that I remember to get you connected, because I remember you didn't make a comment on that. I'll get you connected to the document. So cool. I said I feel that. Cool. All right, no problem. Oh yeah, ndi big elek all day. So, like I said, the next video is Iwaji. Now, another thing that happened was, before I get into the new moon, discussing the new moon, another thing that happened kind of recently was I released the Amadioha Explained video. And because we're having Untoju, our digital new yam, I released a series of 4 videos, and I was like, okay, I don't want to release 4 videos and then go live on top of that. That's like overkill. So Amadioha didn't get a live stream, unfortunately. So if you have any questions on the Amadioha video, anything pertaining to Amadioha, Igwe, Kalu Akanu, that whole entity, go ahead and ask it here. We're going to double up on this one for Aja and Amadioha. They are related anyways. They live in the same house, which is Afo, which is my house. Interested, times are in. Oh, I am here. Okay, cool. One name. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. So we are in the new moon now. The new moon begins tomorrow, not today. But I have something that's coming up, kind of something personal. Nothing sad or anything like that, but something personal and coming up tomorrow, and it might get in the way of me going live. So I said, let me just do it today when I'm 100% sure. So tomorrow's the beginning of the new moon, which is Onwa, right? So what is Onwa? Onwa or Ajana? Onwa Ajana it literally translates to Ajana is like the sands of the earth, right? The sands of the earth. And Aja holds a very sacred place in Igbo cosmology and in ancestral thoughts. Sand or earth or soil, right? We'll start with the fact that it's all fall. Sand or earth or soil is an all fall, right? Because Anna, the earth, is an all fall. Sand itself is an all fall. Like, people are asking me how they can get a hold of all fall, so on and so forth. And if you hold earth in your hands, you're holding an all fall, that type of thing. The earth itself is all fall. Yeah. So what is all fall? All fall is a staff of authority, right? It is given to every single person alive when you enter the world. Okay, so we look at the reincarnation process. You pass away, or Onyowa, which we'll be discussing in the Odinani group chat on the Patreon on Sunday. Your Onyowa begins the process of reincarnation. It returns to Chi. Chi gives it a mission. You understand? Or Chi either reaffirms the mission it gave it prior, or maybe makes changes, that type of thing. Or determines whether you're going to even continue in the process anymore, right? So you return to Chi. You are given a mission, and then from there you begin the reincarnation process. You go back into Eke. Now you enter Eke with your Chi, and your Onyuwa and your Chi sit down and have a negotiation with Eke, with the universe, right? And this negotiation goes something similar to, we're coming into the world to do XYZ, right? I'm coming into the world to be XYZ, that kind of thing. And so Eke goes, all right, if you're coming into the world to be XYZ, here are my rules. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. You make the agreement and you receive what is called your offer, right? You as a person, you have an offer. And that offer is a staff of authority. For those of you who are familiar with Kemetic sciences, it's very similar to the Ankh, where you come into the world, the offer gives you dominion over a certain space within reality, right? Or a certain space within creation. But in order for you to hold that, or in order for you to have that, you're going to have a set of principles that you are to follow. Those are the agreements you made before coming in, that you cannot violate them. If you violate them, you will lose what is called ogun. Ogun is the rights you get when you have the